Ranking the starting goaltenders in the Pacific Division next on Locked On Golden Knights.
Your Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Well, hi again, everyone. Tony Cardasco, Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen each and every day. You could find us wherever you get your podcast. And please make sure to subscribe to our Locked On Golden Knights YouTube channel. We are brought to you today by Gametime. Download the Gametime app, and you will get $20 off of your first purchase by using the promo code LOCKEDONNHL. So today, Chris and I are going to rank our starting goaltenders in the Pacific Division in order. We'll do it from the bottom up. Thanks for that little.
No idea what I just did. No idea what I did there.
It's all good. He's pretty good on that end, you have to admit, there as the producer director behind the scenes. Okay, so let's do it in order from the bottom up. I'm sure that our lists are going to differ, but in the first segment, we'll do from 8th to 5th place in the division and then our top 4. So let's start from the bottom and work our way up. In 8th place, I am going to be ranking Mackenzie Blackwood. San Jose, 10, 25, and 4 last season, 3.45 goals against, 8.99 save percentage. And how long before Yaroslav Askarov finds his way into the net? You would have to believe he'll play this season, right? In the National Hockey League, you have to believe.
Yeah, but not much. They got 2 goaltenders right now. There's 2 NHL goaltenders. I forgot who the other one is there. So San Jose, unless they ship one of them off or they just ease Askarov into the rotation, so to speak, this year, wait for an injury, something like that. But I am with you on Blackwood at 8th, obviously. He's probably a better goalie than that, to be fair. In San Jose, it's just kind of tough to see that. That's all.
Okay, middle name for Yaroslav is Vladimirovich Askarov. Just in case you wanted to know.
That's a lot of syllables. When's his birthday?
Oh, yeah, we don't have his birthday. Okay, 7th ranked. I'm going to put John Gibson here. He did have the fewest starts, 44 games, I believe, in the last 3 seasons. Remember the barrage of shots he took a couple of years ago? Well, they lightened up his workload just a little bit, but he still went 13, 27, and 2. And his name was bandied about again as potential trade bait and what have you. But no one really wants him at this stage of his career. Might have to just ride it out there in Anaheim.
I got Gibson a little bit higher. I would go with Wolf 7th just for the unknown. But back to John Gibson, again, like Mackenzie Blackwood, Gibson maybe on a different team, things could be a little bit different. I always look at John Gibson as the no-hitter in baseball. 5-6 innings, everything is really, really good, and then all of a sudden gets shelled and team rattles off 3 or 4 goals in like an 8-minute span. So Gibson, definitely a tale of 2 goalies. Not in the top 4 for me, but I think he should be a little bit higher, at least on my personal list. I got him 5th.
Okay, so we go 8th. I have Blackwood. 7th, I have Gibson. You have Dustin Wolf. We move up to number 6, and that's where I'm going to place Dustin Wolf in Calgary. Reason being is we don't know how good this Calgary defense is going to be. A lot of unknowns there in Calgary and the Flames here coming into the season. So he's got big upside. We saw him play a little bit last year, but it was a small sample size in which he had 7 wins and 7 losses. But in the WHL, Chris, 106, 34, and 6. And with Jacob Markstrom gone now to the New Jersey Devils, it appears as though it will be Wolf's net. He'll get the call, you would have to think. He's got a 2-way contract, 850,000 AAV. And he just says, it's a new contract, by the way, and he just says it is what it is, and hopefully he can stick with the parent club.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Dustin Wolf, you said it in your open, I think, about it, the unknown. Learning curve from the American League to the National League, certainly a little bit steep, obviously. 9.22 with the Wranglers last season over 36 games. And then with the Flames, same season, 17 games, 8.93 save percentage. Now, there's a lot more than obviously his personal performance that affects the save percentage, the defense in front of him and stuff, and a lot of moving parts. A lot of Vegas Golden Knights making the trip up to Calgary to play with the Wranglers. So we'll see what ends up happening with Dustin Wolf. I think if we were to rerun the show back a year from today, I don't think we would have Wolf 6th or 7th though.
No, we definitely won't. The third goalie for San Jose was Vitek Vanacek. Was the third goalie that they have in there.
Well,
But I just
Ashcroft's
looked
the
at
third goalie, but yeah.
But I just looked at a depth chart that has Askarov as number 1, which is kind of funny. So we'll see. I don't think he's the day
Maybe
one
they do
starter.
that. I don't know. I don't think they're going to do that, but we'll see.
Oh, he's got to be better than a 10, 25, and 4. But he'll also have a better team in front of him.
Who?
If you go with Askarov compared to a Mackenzie Blackwood, right?
Oh, you're going goalie over goalie year over year. The Sharks will have a little better of a team year over year. And I mean, is Celebrini going to, I mean, listen, as good as Bedard was, what was he in the 70-point range, like a point per game last season with his injuries and stuff? So, you know, temper expectations a little bit on Celebrini. And I don't think Celebrini is going to help the defensive side of the San Jose Sharks. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
5th place, we've got, I have Darcy Kemper, and this will be his second stint in LA. Traded in the first season that he played there to Arizona. Midway through the season, this will be again his second stint. He was playing behind Jonathan Quick in his first go-round. He was 10-1-3, and then they sent him to Arizona. And, of course, last year he was with the Capitals, 13-14-3, but his goals against average ballooned up to 3.31. And a far cry from that 21-22 season when he went 37-12-4. So I don't know what to expect out of Kemper and what he has in the tank.
I got him 4, one step ahead of Gibson. I mean, you know, it's what are you going to get? That's the biggest thing. And the Kings, sometimes they have an okay defense, sometimes they don't. We've seen some interesting goalies do okay there, and then they just kind of fall apart. Cal Peterson, the most recent one. Korpisalo's had some weird runs as well since being around there. So, you know, who knows how the opportunities for the shots, the scoring chances, the quality scoring chances, all of that. Kind of throwing the dart between him and John Gibson, honestly.
So, okay, let's go through our bottom 4 again. So I have 8th, Mackenzie Blackwood, 7th, John Gibson, 6th, Dustin Wolf, 5th, Darcy Kemper.
My 8 to 5 would be Blackwood, Wolf, Joey Dacord, and John Gibson. I'll save any Dacord stuff for the next segment, I guess.
See, one of those hockey players that has a better helmet than game. He always has a nice mask, always. Coming up next, we will take a look at the top 4 in our Pacific goalie rankings. And this is out of the mailbag, I think, by popular demand. Someone asked us if we were going to.
Oh, we got this like a week ago. It's right. We got this like a week ago, and we just had stuff like there's actually some good VGK content to talk about, and which you don't get in August, so we had to push it back a week. Good.
Yeah, but by popular demand, because we like to go through the mailbag. No, just kidding. We don't. Coming up next, top 4 goalie rankings. Stay with us right here on Locked On Golden Knights. We are brought to you today by Gametime, and there's a lot of things that you could find there. It makes it easier to save more on all the tickets for sporting events, for concerts, for comedy, for theater. And we definitely like if you go to the, if you toggle the feature for all-in pricing, you have to go to that first. You get the total upfront, and there are no surprise fees at checkout. And you get seat views. If you name if you take a look and you look for the panoramic view, you get a chance to see where you're going to be sitting. The lowest price guarantee on Gametime. They credit you 110% of the difference. So that is really good. And you can take the guesswork out of buying tickets today with Gametime. Just simply download the Gametime app. You can create an account and use the promo code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off of your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and use the redeem code LOCKEDONNHL, $20 off. Download Gametime today, and you'll get last-minute tickets for the lowest price guaranteed. Welcome back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights. Tony Cardasco, Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Thank you so much for making us your first listen each and every day. And then make sure that you download and subscribe, I should say, to our Locked On Golden Knights YouTube channel tomorrow. WTF, I'm sure Chris will come out firing, as well as all of our friends out there. And Saturdays, sometimes, the Chris and Chris Jr. show, the YouTube exclusive. So let's round out our goalie rankings. Chris and I differ. And at number 4, I'm looking at upside when I'm talking about Joey Daccord with Seattle. And I believe he'll be number 1 over Philip Grubauer. Grubauer still has, I looked this up yesterday, he still has 3 years left on his contract. And they're not going to know what to do with him. So that's a difficult situation there. Crazy thing about Daccord, what a record last year. 19, 18, and 11. And if he just gets a split with those 11 at the tail end, he's a 25-game winner, perhaps. So I think he's number 1 this year. What are your thoughts on Daccord? And again, you had him ranked, what, 5th or 6th? Where'd you have him?
I got him 6th because of the unknown. We're talking a goalie who's 28 years old and 69 career games. And even looking back at the American League, he only has 4 random seasons in the American League, and he's sitting around 120, 125 games or something like that. So it's just the unknown factor. We're not talking like this is a 22-year-old, like a Dustin Wolf. It's like we're talking about Dustin Wolf 6 years later. In the next 2 years, Dustin Wolf's probably gonna have more games than Daccord as well. So, not a knock on Daccord. 50 games last year, excellent breakout campaign for the 28-year-old. I'm still just dumbfounded by that. But 916 on the save percentage, goals against 246, a little high. But again, when the save percentage is like that, or when the goals against are like that, and the record, I think there's certainly more than meets the eye as far as just the general stats go. Money puck, nothing really weird stands out to me. So flash in the pan, possibly. I think I'm going to reserve judgment for. I'm definitely not taking him out of the bottom 4 unless he comes back. He doesn't need to have a 50-game season, but let's see if this is the real Daccord or if this was just a flash in the pan. That's all.
You were talking earlier about Macklin Celebrini. Did you see the news? He's going to be living with Sharks legend Joe Thornton. They're going to be roommates. That's pretty funny, actually.
How soon until he has that beard?
Oh, yeah, right.
It might be. I don't think he can even grow that beard. He's like 14 years old?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I am going to rank Adin Hill 3rd in the Pacific Division. 35 games, uncharted territory for him. Can his body handle more work this upcoming season? I think that's the big question. 19, 12, and 2, and of course the injury bug this past season. You're aligned with Adin Hill at number 3?
Yeah, 100%. Again, Stanley Cup winner in a remarkable playoff run where if he doesn't do that, we don't know if the Golden Knights do become Stanley Cup champions in 2022-23. When Brossoit went down, everyone was, oh my goodness, we lost Brossoit, and all of a sudden Adin Hill comes in. It was amazing, and what a world the Golden Knight fans were in when Laurent Brossoit goes down and we're all gasping for air. So it was a wild and wacky year to say the least, in which Jonathan Quick also got to raise the Stanley Cup for Vegas. But back to Adin Hill, like you said, 35 appearances, which, again, the trajectory, I'm trying to take the glasses half full. People have been giving me crap about being negative lately. We'll talk about that tomorrow, I guess. But 27 appearances.
I'm the negative one, buddy. Buster, I'm the negative one on this show.
Guilt by association.
Yeah, guilt by association.
Oh, it was Sprouts, not Smiths, by the way. Someone corrected you on YouTube. Sprouts, not Smiths.
Wow. I'm losing my touch in the supermarket game.
They're paying attention, though, so that's good. All right, so back to Adin Hill here. 27 appearances, career high in 22-23. 21-22, 25 appearances. That's a career high. 2020-21, all the way back to with Arizona now, 19. So each season, he has gone up by, I don't know, 20%, 22%, something like that. So maybe his body is slowly adjusting to a full-time body of NHL work. And if that's the case, if Adin can 45 to 50 appearances, if he can find a path to 45 to 50 appearances, I don't care how it happens, 45 to 50 appearances would be an absolute wonderful situation for Adin and the Vegas Golden Knights. If he had had more appearances, I think in the last 2 years with Vegas, I would have easily put him ahead of Stu Skinner. What a world we're in, where Stuart Skinner is in the top 2 for our Pacific Division goalie rankings. But that's the reality we have right now. Adin Hill, solid goalie when he's on. I've called him one of the best goaltender in the NHL because the stats have supported that. But his health makes it hard for him to, here you go, Tony, sustain that level of output.
Well, if he does go that 22%, it'll be over 40 starts, right? If he continually grows with starts.
Which is fair. It's fair. I mean, it's 40, a tandem league now. It's a tandem league now.
I think we'll be doing Eichel cartwheels if he gets to 40 starts.
You go right ahead, Tony. I'll leave the swatting at flies to you when William Karlsson gets an empty netter and the karate chops. I
punch air an awful lot in hockey season. That's one of the reasons I might have gotten the rotator cuff last year. Number two. Okay, we're going to differ here. I have a feeling because I'm going to go with Thatcher Demko at number 2, and you probably have them flip flopped. Okay, I'll tell you why. 35, 14, and 2, 5 shutouts, played in 1 postseason game due to the injury. Of course, he would have been number 1, still iffy for the start of this season. So they're saying that his recovery is taking a lot longer than expected.
He should be okay, last I read, but again, we'll find out.
Well, I'll tell you more. Okay, so Arthur, I'll tell you more. That should be a news segment. Arthur Silovs injured himself. He has a knee injury because he missed the Olympic qualifier. So he's a little bit banged up. They still have Casey DeSmith. I'm not sure. But the reason why Silovs got an opportunity was because of the injury to Casey DeSmith. And now they might claim, I don't know if they did it already, but the word on the streets is that they might claim Antti Ranta as a PTO signing because that's where goaltending is currently.
Yuri Patera's in the mix too up there. Like, no respect for Yuri Patera, huh? All right.
He'll get his name on the cup even if he's goaltender number 7.
So Shelovs was a really good story for Vancouver last year. Just really did enjoy that, watching the third no-name rookie give him a chance to make a deep run. That was a lot of fun. But so going between Demko and Skinner here, I mean, Skinner, to his credit, 50 games, 22-23, 59 games, 23-24, 914 and 905 save percentages. Obviously gets within basically 2 goals of winning the Stanley Cup. So Skinner has certainly a lot to... And Skinner's only 25 years old. I thought he was a little bit older than that. So a lot of upside still, I guess, for Stuart Skinner. Someone who we never thought of really as much of anything as far as this. But, I mean, even going back to 21-22, just 13 games in the NHL, but 9-1-3, puts up a 9-1-4, 22-23, and a 9-05 and 23-24 for an Oilers team who is not known for much defense. So I got Skinner number 2. I just think Demko is just a better goalie, and you can obviously lead me down that path right now if you'd like.
Of course I will. So Skinner, again, keep in mind that this team, Edmonton, had a garbage early stage of the season, and he still comes back to win 36 games.
Well, he was that Jack Campbell took
I know he
took all that, but yeah,
this is true. He took a lot.
American Bakersfield Condors legend, apparently.
36, 16, and 5, 2.62 really stands out. 905, but postseason, it just shows me his consistency which we never really thought existed. 14-9, 2.45.
Edmonton got lucky with Stuart Skinner. Let's
901.
call that what it is. They got lucky, but still good for them.
Yeah,
Golden
much
Knights got
better.
lucky too with 22-23 with all the goalies, so it's okay.
Much better than we anticipated.
No doubt.
And the point of separation here is the first goaltender to score a goal in an elimination game. I mean, to score a point, I should say, in an elimination game, game number 6, on that dime of a pass to your guy, Darnell Nurse.
Darnell Nurse doesn't seem so bad. We were talking about Darnell Nurse yesterday. His stat line don't see that he's maybe not bad of a player as we make him out to be. But anyway,
he's their Colasar. Yeah, is he their Keegan Colasar?
In terms of what? Is he a punching bag?
No, not a punching bag.
Colasar gets respect. Colasar gets a ton of respect.
Okay, he's going to be the team leader this year. I think
he's going to be up there.
Okay. Coming up next,
we never talked about Hold on, I want to talk about Demko for a second here. I got Demko number 1. I'm fighting you real fast here. So okay. Demko, 64 appearances, 21-22, 32 22-23, 51 appearances, 23-24, 918 save percentage in 23-24, and a 915 in back-to-back seasons with 35 and 64 appearances. Even go back, Demko carried the Vancouver Canucks in that bubble series against the Vegas Golden Knights. Almost it would have been a huge upset if Vancouver would have gotten by Vegas.
The guy from San Diego, we know.
Yeah, so I like Demko's number 1. His raw skill, his raw ability is up there, and I look more forward to if these 8 goalies. That's not going to be, but if these 8 goalies were the same 8 goalies this time next year, seeing where save this napkin somewhere, Tony, save this napkin somewhere, and let's see how close we are to next year's rankings with these.
I am really concerned about the health issue with Demko. So if it's taking them longer to recuperate.
I mean, 32 games last year, I don't know what the reasoning was or what happened there, but 51 this season, obviously the going down in the playoffs is a huge blow, and that's just unfortunate.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we'll see how he rebounds. Definitely, let's see how he rebounds.
Would have been good to see him grade A and fully healthy. Okay, that's a wrap on that segment. You think?
That's
okay.
Good.
We're done with it. Yeah. So you have Demko 1, I have Skinner 1, and we both agree on Adin Hill at number 3.
I do, and Adin Hill's got the upside to get to the top 2 this season as well. If everything we talked about.
VGK's rookie camp. The roster was announced this past week, and spoiler alert, Brendan Brisson is not on the roster. We'll return with more right after this on Locked On Golden Knights. Welcome back, Locked On Golden Knights. Tony Cardasco, Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen each and every day. You could find us wherever you get your podcast. Of course, don't forget, on Fridays, it is WTF. If you're new to the show, just go to our X account. Of course, that is Locked On VGK, and leave some comments, anything good or bad about the Golden Knights from this past week, or they take shots at us. I don't know why sometimes, and you can do whatever. Just express yourself, as they once said in another song. It's another song title for you there, Mr. Golick. 1 week from today, rookie camp gets underway. 1 day of rookie camp. And then they go on the road. That's what cracks me up.
They'll be up and back. It's kind of weird, but it's all good. It's all good.
It's funny, though. You know, the NFL has...
I wish it was here. It's such a good experience. It's such a good experience.
Yeah, NFL has too long of a preseason, right? With all the games and practice.
Keep getting shorter, though. It's down to 3 now.
It's down to there's 3 games, but they still have, camp, right, to get all those repetitions in. But in hockey, they just say, okay, report and go. And then they make adjustments in those games, be it in the NHL games or at the rookie camp. So the rookie challenge and just 1 day of camp, and then they're off to L.A., El Segundo, in fact, to face the Kings the following day. But these were a lot of players that have played together, correct, in development camp. So they get an opportunity to play again. Roster includes all eyes on Jakub Demkic. Help me here.
Demick.
Thank you. Jakub Demick. Epidemic. They should have. Parents
Oh,
should have
gosh.
named his first name should have been Epi or Epi. Okay, we've talked a lot about him. You have Matthew Cataford, Mateus Sapovalev, defense, of course. My fave will be out there. Joe Sandpaper Fleming. He'll be on the
They
ice.
mic'd him up for something over the summer, and it was a pretty good segment. If you want to go back in the VGK Twitter and find it, him with him, he's a gem. He's a gem. He's a gem. He's a good. He
I'm
seems
a
like he's a fun
fanboy.
guy.
Is he going to be a lifer there to take Brisson's place? In the rookie camp.
Oh yeah.
Is this
term
his third?
limits? I know, Tony. Term limits. I know.
Is this his third camp? Seriously, is this
I think
his
it's.
third
I think
rookie?
it's the second. I think it's the second.
Okay. Anyone stand out for you?
Oh yeah, Cataford, Demick definitely would be the first two. Starting with Cataford. Cataford, just like I've talked about this before. No stats, no measurables. I'm going to throw you just watching the game. Sometimes you just got to watch a game to get a feel for somebody, and Cataford just felt different in the American League. He felt like he was smarter, number one, as far as his positioning. Very physical on the puck. Seems like he has that willingness for a Coach Cassidy game, which is going to be win your races, win your battles. Say this 1,000 times. You do those two things right, you're going to find yourself more times than not in a Bruce Cassidy lineup. Now, I guess the qualifier to that might have been Paul Cotter, who did a lot of that, but there's a lot of things he didn't do well. He definitely took some shifts off. So Cataford certainly will get the attention of Coach Cassidy and the rest of the coaching staff if he does what I saw him do last year on the American League. Obviously, Demick, you talked about a little bit. Bear Hughes, I just like the name. I know nothing about. We got Bear Hughes and Jet Jones next to each other. That's awesome. And then on the defensive side, Fleming is fun. Will he? Obviously, I don't know. I guess the biggest question is there a world that exists where one of these players on this rookie roster could play one or more NHL games for the Vegas Golden Knights this year? And I don't know. I mean,
we had a whole segment on Demick. Remember,
Demick has some attention, definitely,
without a doubt. I think
he made comments. His goal is to crack the roster at some point this season. So
I think he's on that track, though. I believe. And I think this is a huge barometer for him. This is a really big camp for him, I believe.
Well, the Golden Knights roster, especially the wings, and he's a center, I know, but there's going to be an opportunity to come up as a winger, and a youngster getting a chance at center with this team is probably unlikely. But if he can play well on the wing, he'll definitely have a chance. I mean, we're talking WHL 70 games, 24 goals, a total of 60, almost a point per game player in the WHL. Yes. That's something. Yeah. And then Henderson, 55 games, but only 16 points. So I don't know.
Him around, though? They moved him around.
They move everybody around. I mean, you can fourth line, first line, second line. That's just, life of being an American League hockey player right now. So, we'll see if the opportunity, we'll see if Demick's even the first one up. I'm not even sold Brisson is making the roster out of camp, to be completely transparent, just based on what we're kind of seeing between the lines and things. I think
he will this year. Yeah.
Okay.
Season.
If Brisson makes the team, the only way it makes sense for him, for his development, is to play. Like, Brisson does not need to play. Brisson's the 19th or 20th forward and a healthy scratch. And I don't have his waiver information in front of me. I'm sure he's got plenty of time, though, with the waivers. So he needs to be playing. Now, to be fair, is he going to learn anything else in the American League? I don't know. I think the biggest thing for Brisson right now at the stage of his career is learning how to be a professional. And I'm not saying he's not a professional by any means. Obviously, the pedigree with the family and his longtime friendship, maybe more or less Uncle Sidney Crosby and stuff like that. But point being is he's got the pedigree. He's got the family, everything that needs to be there. But is it transitioning to being a full-time NHL player? I don't know. And maybe this year he does make that transition, which would be absolutely wonderful. But the reason we're talking about this is there another, dark horse, terrible pun with the Silver Knights, but is there a dark horse on this rookie roster that's going to possibly play some games? And I think you hit the nail on the head, starting with Demick, and I don't think Joe Fleming is going to be that person. Cataford, we'll see. I'm high on Cataford. Is he ready? I don't know. And goalie situation, I guess number 4 is going to be Vikman, right?
Yeah, Vikman there and Carl Lindbaum. So Jesper Vikman and Carl Lindbaum will be the 2 netminders at the rookie camp.
Yeah, no, just grabbing some stats here. So, Vikman, ECHL and the AHL last year, 19 with the Silver Knights, 891 save percentage, 348 goals against. Savannah, 899. I don't know. That's a
899
lot. And the other goalie was
Lindbaum.
Lindbaum, I thought, had a little
You
more.
liked him a little bit, yeah.
I thought there was just a little more excitement about Lindbaum as I pull up his stats. As I can't. What are we doing?
It's okay.
Here?
While you're doing that,
Yeah, for a second.
You know who's missing the rookie camp again? Jackson Hallam. Remember the broken leg injury at Michigan, missed the Frozen Four and all that. As soon as they might interview him again, because as soon as I mentioned his name
Jesus.
in development camp, they interviewed him the next day. It's all good.
So Carl Lindblom, I mean, listen, we're talking Lindbaum, not Lindblom. Sorry about that. 21-year-old. So he's at that age where it's time. Sweden, a lot of time playing in a couple different Swedish leagues here. 929 save percentage in 36 games and a 186, a 186 goals against. And then looks like he switched leagues. I'm assuming this is a higher league, the at SWE HL versus SWE 1. 911 and a 212. So it seems like he survived that learning curve. I'm not sure. Now, to be fair, I don't know if we're talking ECHL, AHL jump. I don't know how it works out in Sweden. You can get an IKEA member to get you some action there, Tony, if you need an answer to that. But again, there's a lot to like about Lindbaum, and all of a sudden he might be number 4 coming into the season. So we'll see. We might see Lindbaum on the ice. You never know.
I, for one, cannot wait for that live stream. So you're one end of the ice, I'm the other. And so the puck is moving in my direction. And what do we see? That's it.
That sounds like AHL TV right there. I had 1 year of AHL TV, and that was
it drives me nuts.
That was the worst. AHL was the worst.
Can they put some money into these streams? Come on.
At least those are free streams, though. I mean, you're getting free, rookie hockey, which is fine. But AHL is a paid service, and that was horse manure.
You like that little invitation there for the stream? Hands out. At least we didn't do hand graphics.
This is why you need to watch on YouTube and not listen, folks. It's like bonus content.
It is bonus content. Speaking of bonus content, tomorrow's WTF. That's What the Friday with all of your comments. It's so much fun. We really appreciate them. Keep them coming through. Be it on, where did you get some comments? On Facebook? Where somebody was blasting me?
Oh, Facebook. Yeah, someone just teed off, and it's funny. It's on the episode. It was on they got both of us.
Okay.
But it was the good, the bad, the ugly episode, and that wasn't a negative episode. Like it was okay.
We were so positive.
Well, it was here's the good that could happen. Here's if things go bad. Here's why they'll go bad. If things go terrible, here's why they will go terrible. We never once said the Golden Knights are going to be terrible this season. We never said they're going to be great this season. We gave, 3 perspectives. So I jumped on. And the first one we had actually a very nice interaction afterwards. And I thanked him for, taking a few minutes to talk. And so it's all good. It's all good.
No, it's pretty funny. And the more positive I get, the more
uncomfortable everyone gets.
The more teed off people get. Like if I go into journalistic mode, they get so upset with me. These fans, some of them. I like the ones that like the edge, though. We don't know anything about hockey. We just talked about ranking goaltenders and stuff.
Nothing.
Of course, don't forget WTF tomorrow. We appreciate everyone, especially the everydayers. And again, please subscribe to our Locked On Golden Knights YouTube channel from my man, Chris Golick. I am Tony Cardasco from Las Vegas. We'll see you tomorrow right here on Locked On Golden Knights. And please take care.